Hey guys, Charles of Shark Reviews here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe class, Transformers 1 Bumblebee. So here he is in his car mode, Cybertron car mode, obviously. And yeah, now before we take a look at Bumblebee himself, let's take a look at the packaging. So here it is, and as you can tell, it is completely different from what we've gotten in the past with Studio Series, and that's because Hasbro's sort of unifying the box styles of the Studio Series figures with those of the Age of the Primes ones. So it kind of makes sense, but at the same time doesn't, because it's like, it kind of gets a little bit confusing for some collectors. It's like, is this from Age of the Primes? Is it Studio Series? So, yeah. And as you can tell, no more backdrops, or at least no like backdrops that come from actual movie scenes, instead of just a more generic, Transformers thing in the back. But yeah. Anyways, on the front, 18 steps. This is how they have it all laid out. And for the first time since like 2014, the Transformers logo is not on the side vertically. It's now back to being on the bottom, or it's back to being horizontal, and now it's on the bottom. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Studio Series Transformers 1. Technically, this figure is B127/Bumblebee, but I'm just gonna call him Bumblebee just for the sake of consistency. It's the name more people know. On the side, you get that same art from the front, which, by the way, looks really nice, but there he is up close. And yeah, and on the other side, it's just a continuation of the art on the front, which I think is a cool idea. This appears to be this like a little sunset thing. I think that's supposed to be the planet they were on when they found the Primes. I won't go into too much details because I don't think everyone's seen Transformers 1 yet, even though it's been out for like 6 months at this point. But yeah, let's see, Deluxe class. Alright, here's the top. Here is the bottom, and here's the back. Probably the best upgrade for these new Studio Series boxes, because now they actually have little screen caps from the films, so that's nice. So there he is, with his bow mask, and it still gives the little bios. 18 steps, where that meets the eye, and all this right down here. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. So let's bring Bumblebee, or should I say, Badassatron. That sounds awful. But yeah, here's Bumblebee in his alt mode, and yeah, looks pretty cool. So, anyways, let's get a close-up look right here at Bumblebee. There it is. It's kind of generic. Not really a whole lot going on. I could use more paint in some areas. But I like the front area. I like how the sides are also painted in like gunmetal gray. Here's the bottom. Obviously, it's the ugliest part. Visible head syndrome going on right there. And yeah. But overall, it's not too bad. It can roll pretty nicely. So hey, that's thumbs up. And yeah. Anyways, now for accessories, he does come with not one but two arm cannons right here. If you notice, there's like these little slots on the sides. If you're wondering what those are, well, that leads me to the next two accessories, and those are two dagger knives right here, just like how he had in the movie. So you can insert them into each cannon right here, or at least, well, the slots on those cannon pieces, not the actual cannons themselves. But yeah, so you have that going on. But yeah, anyways, now for storage, the reason why I'm showing these accessories early, you can plug these in right on the top right here. There's 2 slots. So you want to have these specifically plugged in this way, because otherwise, if you have them on like the other sides, then like this takes up the entire space right here, if you can see. So, so yeah, you just want to have it all plugged in like this. And there we go. So now we got that, but he does come with one more accessory, and that is his big old gun right here, and I think it looks really nice. But yeah, as you can see, there's a like a port right here, and so yeah, you can attach this either on this side or the other side. We'll just put it in here, and there you go. And don't worry, it doesn't affect the wheels in any way, especially this one, because you know it like faintly touches it, but it can still spin just as good. So yeah, that's it for storage. Oh yeah, you could also put these right up front here if you want, but I'll just go ahead and take all this off. And yeah, let's do some quick size comparisons here. So starting off, here he is with Optimus Prime, you know, the Studio Series 1. Here he is with Megatron. And last but not least, here he is with the Prime Changer Bumblebee, which is basically, in Transformers 1's case, the mainline Deluxe. So yeah, I'd say, you know, they're about equally as good. Well, maybe this one's a slightly little more, because I like the shade of yellow they use more, and I like that there's not as much gappage as like right here you can see. But I do prefer how this one somewhat cleaned up just a little bit better on the bottom. But you know, it's the bottom, so who cares? But yeah, that's pretty much it there for the alt mode. So let's get right down to the transformations. So starting off, you just want to split apart this back section right here, and then untab the arms from the sides and move them out. And then next, yeah, just have the legs split apart. Then just bring this down right here, and there's a tab right here that'll go into the slot. So we got that, and then just bring the foot forward. There you go. Do the same thing on this side. Click that in, bring this up, and then after that, you just want to bring forward the waist right here. You can see this goes up like that and clicks into place, and then you move the legs down, and boom, that's it for the legs. So let's get up to the upper section. So next, you're just going to have the forearms face this way, and then you're just going to move up these yellow pieces, and then rotate out the hands, and close up those yellow panels, and do the same thing over here. And there we go. Close that up. And we're almost done. As you can tell, this is a pretty simple transformation. So yeah, so just bring forward this right here. This will be somewhat part of the abdomen. And then, let's see, then you're just going to, I think, bring this down. Oh wait, no, here, no. You have to untab this all right here, and then move this back, and then you can, I think, put this over. I kind of forgot how this goes. I think you just, oh wait, just rotate that. Hold on a second. I'm forgetting this for some reason. Like I remember like transforming this last night, and suddenly now I'm forgetting. Here, let me pause real quick. Silly me as usual. So the reason it wasn't going over is because of the shoulder piece was still up. I didn't realize it. So you just want to make sure the shoulders are brought down all the way, and then you can bring this around. There's a tab right here that'll go in that slot, and boom, there we go. So finally, you just want to rotate around the head, then flip down this panel, and then you just want to close that up. It'll click into place, and then just bring up the shoulders to a decent extent. And once you got that all done, oh, and the heel spurs, obviously. There you go. So once you get that all done, there you guys have Bumblebee, or B-127, or Badassatron, in his robot mode. And yeah, I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I mean, you know, nothing great, but I think, you know, it's a step up over what we had with the Prime Changer. Yeah. So anyways, let's take a look at the head sculpts. I think it looks pretty good. It's a little too serious, I'd say, though, for his facial expression. Because in the movie, he wasn't quite, you know... I mean, I don't know, he just looks awfully, like, angered or something, or just way too serious, like, for his character in the movie. I mean, his character was an absolute goofball. So, yeah, I kind of wish they gave him a little smirk or something, but oh well, it is what it is. It is still sculpted pretty nicely. So yeah, get a nice paint here for the toes. Here's the back. Aside from this little backpack, it does clean up pretty well, but you know, I still think personally though that the backpack does fit into the aesthetic pretty well. So yeah. Now for articulation, head's on the ball joint, so you can move it side to side. Can look up this far, down that far. Shoulders can move outwards this much. Get a 360-degree rotation at the shoulders. Biceps do swivel, and the elbow bends about 90 degrees. The wrists don't swivel, and they don't really go in and out either. Side, you know, unless you just want to bring up this piece and then you get something, but that doesn't really count. The waist does swivel. The legs can kick up this far and back that far, and then he can do the splits about that much. And he does have a thigh swivel and a bend at the knee. Let's see, ankles do pivot, and they can also, the feet can also move down. And yeah, that's it for the articulation. So it's pretty good, you know. Again, a huge improvement. That's probably the part, like the one thing that this guy has for sure over the Prime Changer is the articulation, because that one didn't have ankles or anything like that, or at least ankle movement, I should say. So, yeah, again, a real step up for the articulation at least. So yeah, now again for accessories, he does come with you know, his two cannons right here, the blades. I just want to make sure, you know, I gave you guys a good look at them. I like the metallic gray that they used. But yeah, anyways, yeah, you can just plug them into his hands. And then there you go. So you can swash, whoosh around while he's also blasting some deceptive creeps, I guess, if you want to use Ironhide terms. But if you don't want to use both of them, but still want to store this, or at least just one, you can put one of them on the back or both. It's up to you, but the reason I'm putting that back there is because of his gun right here that we saw before. And yeah, so you know, you can get even more powerful blasts than what these little cannons can provide. So yeah, I quite like it. The only complaint though I have with the accessories are not really the accessories that we have. Rather, like I wish they gave him like either like a face mask of some kind, like either a different head for it, or just kind of have like a piece I could attach, because that completes like the whole look, and this sort of lacks it. And it's kind of also false advertising too, because in the back of the box he does have that on, which is yeah, it's kind of misleading, but yeah, that's kind of it though for that. So yeah, now anyways, after the robot mode size comparisons, here he is with Optimus. I'd say it works. The scale works pretty well. Here he is with Megatron. And last but not least, here he is with the Prime Changer. And to be honest with you, I think this one definitely captures the personality and aesthetic of TF1 Bumblebee just a tad bit better, because even though he's not smirking anything on his face, he still kind of has, you could still hear Keegan-Michael Key's voice through this face sculpt and everything. I don't know, this one seems a little too, I don't know how to say it, like, mature, I guess, I don't know, but I still like both. This one definitely has much better posability, that's for sure, but honestly, if there's a Bumblebee from this movie that, you want, you could really do either or, but, again, the only real improvement you get from this guy is more quality paint and more posability and slightly more accessories, but that's really about it. And he's a little bit shorter than this one, so I guess maybe in terms of scale, this one's a little more accurate, but I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it there for the robot mode size comparisons. And there you guys have my review for the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Transformers 1 Bumblebee. And yeah, I gotta say, he's a pretty good figure. Nothing too big. It's not really that much of an upgrade over the Prime Changer. As I said before, aside from the posability, the paint, the accessories, it's kind of about it. It's still a good figure. It's just nothing like, not as much of an improvement as I was expecting, but. I guess that part's on me, but yeah. The only real complaint I guess I have is maybe, or I guess two complaints. One, maybe have just a slightly different facial expression for the face sculpts, and probably just having like a battle mask I think would be cool. But aside from that though, I'd say he's perfectly fine. And yeah, and usually by now with these Steel Series figures, like towards the end I'd show the backdrop, but since these don't come with any of them anymore, I guess I can't really do that now. But yeah, but that's pretty much it for that. So yeah, anyways guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of this figure. So anyways guys, as always, till all are one.